This is going to be a fun show, guys. Yes, it is. It is May the 7th, 2020, and Service Hero Show 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. And yes, the man behind the hands is our own Kevin Beverly. On social media, many people know this man as Kev Bev. Yes, that's him, really, underneath all the COVID hair on his face and stuff. I got to see him the other day, and guys, you know what? He tamed down this up here. I made mine go like COVID wild because I'm like, oh, we got Kevin going on today, and we're going to have some fun. And I'm going to welcome the buddy as they're coming, and everybody that is a fan of the show. One of our newer ambassadors, Kevin. I don't know if you've met Sherry yet, but Kevin, this is Sherry. Sherry, this is Kevin. We are going to have some fun out on the public page today, guys. I am ready for it. And she's one of our ambassadors that's representing the Chemo Buddies in a new program that we're going to be doing. So it's pretty exciting. We have Carol Brown is here, and Ariel. I love it when they show up. We have Ambassador Helene Wilson. She's here now. Are you frozen? Are you okay? You're not frozen, are you?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay, I just want to make sure because we've been having some frozen issues, guys. Yeah, I'm playing with this hair of mine because I had a lot of it. I've been kind of taming it down. I think a lot of us have the same thing going on, in that our hair has been growing in the whole COVID-19 thing and in our shelter in place time. And I want to say, in all seriousness, that Kevin is one of the most genuine people I know. He shows up, he checks in, he shares the love. His talent is off the charts. His ability to get things done. I know he has shown up in a pinch and come through for not only myself, but for the organization, Chemo Buddies for Life. He's been a big fan of the show here at Service Heroes. And you have not only, he supported me and helped me. Yeah, he did it because he was fair when we were doing the Next Impactor. He did my hometown video, and we're going to share that today. However, he did others. He did Teresa Schneider, one of our service heroes, someone that is one of our volunteers at Chemo Buddies for Life, one of my dear friends, also one of Kevin's dear friends. He is really one of the most caring individuals I've ever known. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Plus, he's a lot of fun, guys. You just never know. It just shows up, and then it's a Kevinism, He shows that wit and charm and fun. So welcome.
Well, I'm sure there are many on here that absolutely adore and love Tamara's laugh. It's 1 in a million, so we cannot get enough of that. It always smiles on my face. So.
Oh, Kevin, I have to just say, in fact, we were just a few minutes late because I asked you because let's step back. And so because I mean, right now I'm looking at everybody in the chat, and it's all our buddy. See, he's on it now. He's already started fun. That a lot of the people here right now are from our community, but this is going to be going out into the public. This is on Facebook, and it will be loaded into YouTube, and we're going to be talking about that today, guys. Wink, wink. Big stuff going on. And in multiple different ways, there's big stuff going on. But I met you because you were at a lot of the summits that I went to for the buddies, and I would be the one that they would put me somewhere kind of strategic because they knew I would put the seatbelt on my chair and I would sit there the whole time, and I would go live because I was sharing it with the buddies, and they would let me come because they knew I would go live for the buddies. And then you would be going because you were doing a lot of video and videography for a lot of the VIP top summit speakers, and you know, the people that kind of, you guys, you know them, that they fly in with the entourage, they fly out sometimes with the entourage, or they may stay. But you were the videographer of many of these people at these events, and that's how you and I started meeting each other, right?
Yep. So you never know where you're going to be or who you're going to meet. It's the willingness to show up. And then from there, it's your energy. It's who you are that tends to attract the people that you're going to be around. So
I love that. It's so true. And that's exactly, guys, you're starting to see. I'm going to call him my Kevin, but I share him with everyone because, you know, he is the world's Kevin, and we're going to get to that. Wink, wink, in a big way here in a little bit. And so when you and I met, you had already started, and you were doing some video for a few people. You had started working with Teresa Snyder, and you and I started getting closer. And I was really seeing I was following you, quite honestly. I became a stalker, guys, a Kevin stalker. I'll admit it, because he can tell stories, and he can, in his, he, you know, and I was always fascinated his film angles and how he would do it. And I mean, because he was always moving. There's the ones that they kind of stationary like me, you know, and then there's the ones like Kevin. And I mean, he's out on a ledge on a building, and he's doing all sorts of interesting things. And so I wanted to see what the outcome was. That's when I knew, because I started seeing the heart coming through in his video, that when we were tasked at the Next Impactor, during the Next Impactor challenge, to tell our home story, our hometown story, that assignment, I took all the assignments like homework girl that I am, and I crunched through them. I was good with it. I was willing to do everybody else's homework even. I had no problem with it. But that hometown video assignment was not an easy assignment for me. And I knew it was not going to be an easy assignment. I don't want to break down and cry over this, but it was not going to be an easy assignment for me. So I knew it was going to have to be someone really special to go with me to capture what I needed and to deal with whatever was going to show up, because I really didn't know. We were opening up some huge doors that I had slammed shut, put the padlocks on, put the chains on, done everything I could to just walk away from that time in my life. And Kevin, you went with me, huh?
yeah, you did your thing, but at the same time, when I think at that particular time, you were in an emotional place, and so was I. I was doing my best to hide it, but it was when you have two emotionally charged people, it's always an interesting time. So for me, during that time, I was going through a lot of relationship challenges. So for whatever reason, when we did that filming, you just had so many tears, so many different emotions, that when I got back and it was time to go into the editing room, I was so filled with all the different emotions that you gave, but at the same time, all the ones that I was carrying, that I really channeled all of those emotions into the editing process. And in doing so, a lot of those rubbed off on the actual finished video.
And they did. And in just a moment, we're going to show the video. The finished product. We ended up with a few different versions, which I loved too. And at some point in time, and this is one of the things we're going to talk about, guys, wink, wink is YouTube, is that at some point I want to be able to show the different versions on a YouTube channel and be able to showcase kind of like how. And I would love, and maybe we can talk about this even right now and clip it. And that is when a film editor, because you're the videographer, you're the director, and you are the editor. These are sometimes different roles, right?
Yeah, we call that a very simple term, a one-man band.
There you go. I love it. I love it. So you're the one man band. Okay, so I'm gonna show you off right now. Okay, so the one man band, and let's see, and I have to say I just love it when everybody is chatting here, because that's what we encourage within the Chemo Buddies for Life community, and they love him. They know Kevin, and we do have some new buddies too, so they're also getting to know you today. So the one-man band that you are, Kevin, when you go back, because we filmed a whole day, and it was kind of fun because
Oh, it was a blast. What are you talking about? Towards the end, when I'm sitting there in the car and I'm like looking at Tamara, and she's like, "Is that camera off?" I'm like, "Oh, it's definitely off." And that's why there's a red light blinking. And then she starts to sing. Oh, it was frightful. And then I tell her, like, "Oh, by the way, it was recording." What?
And the community is going to be like, totally, you got Tamara to sing? I'm sure he'll be in any moment because they always are trying to get me to sing. And it's like, I sing off key, and Kevin has witnessed it. and so when you went to the drawing board, because when we came back, and I really want people to understand the genius of this man, and then we're going to show the video of what we ended up putting into the Next Impactor for the competition, because it was part of the homework that had to be done for the first global Next Impactor to be picked. And the work that we did, we went and we filmed all day long. We met with some of my friends from when I was a child and growing up, high school and everything. And it was really interesting because I see them like I saw them when we were kids. Some of them actually, I love them, but like the older sister, and when you see this, especially a couple of the versions, you'll really understand it all. She had some premature gray. I'll just put it that way. And I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't grow up, did we? But they were wonderful. They met with us. Then we went over to the hometown. We filmed all day long. We came back, and you had me do some voiceover. You went and did your magic. You started sending back. Oh, and also he went out and got some other footage in the neck of the woods where I live. He came and stayed with me, and then went and did that too. He went and did some. Is that B-roll? Is what you call that?
Yep.
And so,
like that special ingredient that you put into a cake, I just applied it for video.
Yeah, humor, Kev. You are right, Carol. Carol, yeah. Okay, I will find. I have to go in there when he's talking. I'm going to actually go in and find his little dance and singing, guys. It's beautiful. We love you. We love you, Tamara. You are singing. I knew it was going to come up. Yeah, he captured me singing when I was driving. Anybody that drives in my car knows that I do sing. I sing loud and I sing off key, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, especially when there's no camera.
So we end up you end up sending me the film. The very first time I saw the first clip, and we don't have the first clip here, guys, because it ended up being a little too long. However, and we're going to be talking to you about YouTube, remember, but at some point in time, you will see this. You had hours and hours and hours of video. How is it that you can? When I saw that first one, the first rough draft, I literally had to watch it a number of times because my eyes were so teary. I couldn't see. I couldn't see it. I could hear it, but I couldn't really see it because it was just that emotional. And he told a story, and he's bringing this in and that in, and he's telling this amazing story. And I'm thinking, how in the world do you do it?
I would love to tell you how I do it. Sometimes there's just magic and things just come together. So I've had a few of those types of moments, but you were honestly the first. So,
Oh, well, thank you. Guys, this man, he's amazing. And, you know, and I love it that we have so many in. Aaron, yes. Kev, yes, he is on fire. And I will say he is a returning service hero, total disclosure, but there's it's interesting how the timing all works with him being here today. And the very first time you were ever featured as a service hero, there was a connection that took place between you and Aaron. And that's what happens also in the power of the moments that we capture here on streaming live, on video, and the fact that our souls and our hearts can actually be captured on film.
mm-hmm.
Right? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Put it simply, is we live in a world that's filled with all sorts of interesting people. So when we are authentic, which is I know is an overused term, when you're actually real and you're showing your heart and you're vulnerable, is truly just the best part of life. So, you know, being able to be in a position where you can help somebody else or even serve someone else is, I believe the gentleman that you had on yesterday would agree,
Yes.
is all about serving others. It's really, that's all about what life is. By serving somebody else's mission, you in turn will serve, so many more people, helping others to grow, helping others to like go after what truly matters to them, lead them down the road of happiness, and that's truly where everybody gets to live. Is by watching someone else be happy, you in turn get to be happy as well.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to bring his picture up. I brought your picture up on his show, and I'm bringing his picture up on your show. And I will tell you guys, I've been up the last couple nights because we got a lot going on in the community, a lot going on. I'm taking advantage of this period of time to make a lot of amazing things happen. And I have a little bit of that kind of a 36-hour live personality sometimes. And in the middle of the night, I realized that my guest for today, the service hero guest, wasn't able to go live. There was a change in her personal plans or her work plans, and I had just had Timothy R. Johnson on yesterday, which after that, the work and the things that started coming out, and some of the, one of the board members was like, oh my goodness, and on, and I talked with him afterwards, and guys, let's just say the fire flames that you were showing, Aaron, yeah, they're involved in all of this. And Kevin helped you ignite it, because Kevin actually, he nominated Timothy, though I met Timothy nearly in the very beginning of me going out there to all of these summits and meetings and everything. Yet you nominated him, and I'd love to hear in your own words, why is it that you did?
There are certain people that come into your life that I don't know what he shared. I only got bits and pieces from yesterday, but he always talks about there are people that will be, going back to being real, authentic, right? People that don't necessarily care about your feelings, right? And there's a lot of people, when you evaluate your own social circle, the people that are around you, do you have cheerleaders or do you have people that actually care? The cheerleaders that you have in your life will always be happy. They'll be pushing for you. They'll give you positive feedback. But in order for all of us to grow, what is that we need most? It's the negative feedback so that we can course correct. So for him, it was the first time in a while, or at least, when you're ready to hear something, then you can take it. So he gave me a lot of negative feedback for me to look at and work on, which it comes from aligning your heart with your mind, so that you can actually serve other people. For I think kind of towards the when we were creating your video, I was on the beginning road of what does it look like to serve other people, because for many years it was all about me. So when he came into my world, it was more of, wake up, Kev, like, here's what we're gonna do, here's what things look like, and then just asking a series of questions to get to the heart of who is me and how can I serve other people. Because it's still another mentor of mine once told me, if you ask the right questions, the questions are like the laser beam to get the right answer. Right, because you can zero in on how you can serve other people. If you know how to do that, then it makes communication simpler, easier. And the other part, just coming from Tim, is that everything in life is simple, but the things that make life complicated are the stories that we make up about things. So if you push the stories to the side and just focus on, okay, what do I want to accomplish, then the only thing that's left is knowing your numbers. And then the next part is taking the actions to make that happen. That's really how simple life can be. But for some of us, we get caught up in our own story of, well, this happened, or she did this to me, it's her fault, right? And there's no responsibility in owning everything that happens.
So you could say, in some ways, in many ways, possibly even, that I didn't even thank him adequately yesterday for not only being a service hero to as many people and being nominated by you, but also in an indirect way, or a direct way, because of you, he was very involved with. It's interesting. I am really having an epiphany here right now, guys. that he was involved with even the hometown video, and then the impactor. I knew he had talked about the impactor, and he was talking about Lauren because of the power of we and his love of helping the inner city children and kids and helping them to grow up into successful adults, and all of the work that he does. Yet because of working with you, and then you coming and helping me, I mean, this is what it's, guys, here, this is another thing about service. When you serve one person, you never know how the domino of service will continue, and how that made that circle. Sometimes that domino can come back to kick you in the butt in a way, maybe even, interesting to say that, but I'm saying it in a very loving way, because what you're sharing right now and the timing of it's am I hearing you right?
Yeah, and also it's not about what you do. Just to be clear,
Okay.
It's not about what you do. It's about who you are.
Okay.
So, like, a story I could share was in a past relationship that I was in. She was speaking with I think it was two guys that were in the military, and they just weren't sure on what they wanted to do. I mean, they were about to come out of the military, and they had so many options, but they just really didn't know what they were going to do. So she shared a little bit about who I was. Like, I went from zero to going after my passion of videography and photography. And literally, when they got off the plane, both of them pulled up their phones and registered into a videography course in college. Right. So it's not about what you do. It's about who you are. The what you do is a byproduct of who you are.
Okay. I totally get that. And in fact, Timothy, afterwards, when he was talking to me, the thing that I just found beautiful about his soul is how he was just helping me even with some course correction on my language. Kind of like, let's look at this a little different, and then sit, and having me look at it, and I was like, oh yeah, I get it, because it's something that we need to constantly be working on and educating ourselves. And I'm going to bring up right now the video that we've been talking about, and then I'm going to take us both down from the line. We're going to bring that up. You guys are going to be able to watch the hometown video that Kevin created for the Next Impactor. Yes. Okay, so let me bring it up. Let's see here. And we get this here to bring it up on the line. And then let me take you guys down.
So Tamara, yeah, sounds very professional. But growing up in Lakeside, it was always Tammy, and I can't help myself. I still call her Tammy.
Tammy became part of our family because of things going on with her biological family, and so she learned a lot during that period of time of how to pull herself up by the bootstraps and really becoming a leader and very much an independent person.
My house, you can see the back of it. You know, when I look at this house, I remember it's kind of like that book, you know, the best of times and the worst of times. I actually haven't been back here for years because I couldn't face it. Right there is my room's window. And I can remember some of the greatest dreams and goals and just who I am and who I was going to grow up to be. You know, those thoughts, those dreams were spun there in that room. I'm grateful for all the lessons that this house and this neighborhood and the people in it, the people that I grew up with, I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the experiences. I'm grateful because it made me who I am. And I'm grateful for this challenge because I don't know that I would have done this. I don't know that I would have faced this if it hadn't been for it. All right.
All right, let's come back up into the line. It still gets me.
Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories for me as well. So
yeah. Well, thank you. And you know, the thing that you were able to capture that, I just want to let people know, because you know, it's not like I'm used to having a videographer follow me around and everything. It was a new experience. I'm usually the one that, if anything, has the tripod, and then I may turn it on myself. Yet it is different, and you, because of who you are, I believe, you make it so comfortable for someone to have you there and have your equipment, which your equipment, I didn't get the picture. Well, yeah, here, I've got some photos or some, I captured, let me bring one more up. When you were doing, we were together, we've many different times, and this was one of the social times that we kind of got together. Yet you were doing some video with Teresa Snyder. And let's see, you can see your rig, because your rig's pretty big, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, for me, it is.
I'm looking at my face. I'm like, where's the hair? I don't recognize.
That's pre-COVID. What do you mean? I like this thing. You can keep it.
My intention with this is it's a quarantine beard, something I've never actually grown. This is the biggest it's ever been. So I'm just looking for an excuse to chop it down.
An excuse. Okay, yeah, let's show. See, here's the he's
Yeah, and then that
here's
hair.
the Kevin, you know, that I love that picture of you and Teresa. That was at one of David Fagan's events, one of his events there in Phoenix. And Teresa was a speaker there. And so you were capturing her for the hometown video, but also for some other video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about what it is, the kind of video that you like to shoot and what you're doing now, because I really want to go into that. And now let's preface this. This is the service hero that this man is. He contacted me and he's like, okay, we need to talk. And so we arranged to talk, and it's when I got to see him for the first time with this, you know, and he does this. He reaches out every once in a while, and it's like he's so in tune with his friends and those people that he cares for. It's always at the perfect moment when you may need to talk to someone. And how do you do it?
It's just a feeling. That's all.
Well, it's always spot on. It's always spot on. In fact, it's almost like, I know I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to be excited too, you know, because we go through all the emotions. And oh my goodness, we have LA Lim in the house. It's good to see you, LA Lim. And it's interesting how this works. It's been happening a lot over the last few days. Lemuel, I did not realize that a lot of the shows that were on the YouTube channel were unlisted. I'm going in and listing them all now. I didn't realize that. And he laughs, but he knows me so well. Guys, I'm still learning technology. Wink, wink. So I kept thinking, why aren't they coming up? And then finally, I figured it out. So LA with Lemuel Flowers, one of the first service heroes way back. Your video just went live, and I would like any of our service heroes from any of the shows over the last 2 years to give me your bios, and so that I can put them into the service hero video that your show when you were highlighted as a service hero. So perfect. So, you know, it's like this, even interesting how space and time really, when you have the energy of love and caring and service and the higher frequencies of energy, that you don't need actually a phone, you don't need the internet, you feel it, right?
Yeah, I mean, all it takes, at least for me, is looking at someone's picture or a text message or something, and I just know it's time to have a conversation or text them or just check in with them. Every time I seem to do that, it works wonders for people. One thing that I use as a tool is called the mirror effect. So usually how this works is if you go into your calendar every day, at least one person, usually in the morning, and you schedule this time and you write down somebody's name, how can you impact their day and make it 1% better? So usually it's going to be, whether it's a text message or, hey buddy, how are you? Hope you're crushing life. Just want to say, hey, you means the world to me, and there's so many people that are counting on you that, you know, you are definitely matter in this world. I did that the other day for a colleague of mine. He said he had goosebumps, his hairs stood on end because no one had actually acknowledged him like that before. He's really, really talented and gifted. You've met him. His name is Pape. He's working on all of these different incredible paintings.
Yes.
And he has such a big, massive vision for where he wants to go and the amount of people that he wants to impact.
Yeah.
That sometimes we just get caught up in the little things, the minutia of life, instead of taking those small moments to say, hey, how are you? So
How incredible is that? Because that's exactly what happened when you touched base with me, and when we were talking, and then you asked a very good question, and I do have the book here with my answer, but I had to really think about it, because I have been reading it, but I hadn't been really reading it. It was more picking it up and browsing it, to be honest, because I know the difference. When I'm really reading something, I'm disciplined. When I'm browsing, I'm browsing. It's like, okay, a filler of time. When I have a few moments, I'll pick it up, I'll read a little bit, and then I'll put it back down, right? And so you asked me a question about.
So the question that I ask, and it's a question that most people will never hear, which is, what is your most treasured memory?
Yes.
So what I could share is, as you guys are thinking about what is your most treasured memory, is one of my most treasured memories was when I graduated from the police academy. It was the first time that I had accomplished and completed something from start to finish. And also the experience that I had was that I truly embraced my own leadership for the first time in my life. And the other part, that was the start of me utilizing photography in a different way. The only reason I bought a camera was just to pick it up and take pictures of my car and maybe some landscapes. That was the only reason I picked up a camera. But this actually gave me a purpose and a reason. And then from there, when I graduated from the academy, the feeling of accomplishment, showing that I did do something that is worth something, but at the same time, I got to see the level of respect when you have a brother next to you that's willing to give their own life to support your mission or support what you need to do. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the start of that. So there's so many different things that I experienced that led to a different road. So when I asked Tamara this question, your response was what?
You want me to give the answer of what I said?
This is the Service Heroes show, so I'm not the only hero on this show.
My answer was one that actually was really surprising to me. That it really took me somewhere that was like, I can't even believe. But he asked me, and I understand the gut level feeling, because that's what I used to use a lot for when I was. I want to make sure this doesn't start playing. Yes, okay, I found your video. Yay! Oh yes, Aaron, I'm going to be playing it. The fact that my mind went to where it went is the exercise that I learned from this experience, and because it went. I don't talk about this very much, guys, but he does this. Okay, I've been married a few times, and on my second marriage, it was one of the most beautiful days I had ever had. Beautiful. I didn't put on the wedding. Someone else did. His family did, and I kept telling myself and preparing myself to take it all in, slow it down, enjoy every moment. It's magical, like Magic Mondays, and and just enjoy the love and the family and the friends. And so when he asked that question, my mind went there. And you guys are going to be reading a book here soon that, it ended up being like a lifetime movie experience. It's like, having to, like, let's just say I didn't have that husband my whole time. And yet that was the memory that came to my mind. And what it taught me was when you're talking about being in the moment and being present in the moment, and people talk about slowing down time and really taking it in and seeing it for the love that it is. My mind didn't go to that conditional place of, but that canceled that out because of how it ended up. No, it went to that day and that experience. And you know what? he even pointed out that I had a huge smile on my face, right?
So to elaborate a little bit more, it's a very unique question, because if you can understand how the mind works, imagine it's like a filing system, right? Most of us go through life and we have, people ask us questions, but they don't require like true deep thought. Right? So when you ask, what is your most treasured memory? It requires our brain to go deep into our filing system to find a memory that actually matches the question. Because here's the part about the mind is whatever question that you ask, it will always answer. So one of the things I kind of share with Tamara is, why is it that I'm so awesome? It's
Right.
such a positive question, because your mind is going to have an answer. It needs to find an answer. So it reinforces that you're awesome. But elaborating even further is when you continue to ask that question, it's going to find whatever memory it's going to find. The following question to ask is, what were the emotions that you felt during that time? Right, which also deepens the memory bank to go even further into those emotions. So for Tamara, when she found that memory, and I asked that same question of, what are the emotions that you felt? I felt really happy, like it was incredible. And as she starts to describe what that experience is, magically she starts to take on those emotions. So that's kind of a little bit of how the mind works. And at the same time, there's another part to the question, which is, I asked, so in your current life, are you experiencing any of those emotions? Or if not, what do you see as missing? And she goes, I haven't done what? I haven't experienced what? So,
Guys.
so here's the difference between the people that are asking general questions, and this is where having a laser beam question that goes directly to the person, that you have true, authentic conversations.
Yeah.
And when they share, you can actually serve them. There's no sugarcoating life. If you go directly to the source, ask the right questions, then you actually be able to serve people better. Right? So she
Yes.
experienced what she experienced, but it's, we all have our own version of something.
Right. I will share this, is that everything he is saying is true, and it gets to the core of you. And so when all of this was going on, even last night, and the events for today, I drew back on this experience, and I really was thinking about the fact that we all need to go there. We all need to go to a place to that is so authentic, because we don't always. And I realize that. And here I'm doing this show all the time. I'm talking with people, and we're getting in there, but I'm realizing that we all have that survival mechanism we stay in. And right now, especially in the fact that so many of us are in kind of a survival loop, not going out to work. Many are still at stay-home orders. Not everybody in the United States and the world, but California and where you are, and there are some, right? And so this is really great stuff, guys, to really say, okay, what is it? I went there, I felt that again. What is it that's maybe missing right now? What is it that I need to do? What is it that and then we went into books. You asked, okay, what book are you reading right now? And this is the kind of friendship and service hero that I just absolutely treasure, Kevin. And he has a way of being able to communicate with people so that you end up communicating with yourself too. That's a uniqueness. That's a skill. That's a skill.
Everything can be resolved through communication.
Absolutely. And dancing. I'm gonna bring something up here, guys. It's not long, but
Here's a side note: is there are two people, Tamara Hunter and Aaron, that have no idea I did a TikTok a long time ago, which involved dancing and synchronizing and stuff. So I'll leave that in the air. I'm sure Erin's gonna keep bugging me. Where's the video? But
there you go. I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. And if nothing else, I bet you could turn this one into something too. Okay, I'm gonna bring this one up. We're gonna go down. You guys are gonna have. You ready for some fun? All right. So, let's see here. Do this.
Audio check level is there for you, Skip. And of course the phone rings. So I know you're going to edit all this out and make it smooth as butter. So wait for this to kick off for a second. And there we go. So this video is dedicated and brought to you by Tamara Hunter. We all love you. I love you. You are a rock star, and I always got your back. Always got your corner, always got your side, your front, your left, your right, whichever you so choose. So, without further ado, we are going to work with Skip to deliver some awesome content for you. So, Skip, ready? Chop this up and make it fit whatever works for you. So, I get to do some singing. It's awesome. So, I can... I will, we are, we will. Bam. One more thing. One more take. All right. I can. I will, we are, we will, we are, I am, bam.
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I forgot. I had to mute us because we were having a little feedback on the way that I had it set up. So sorry. Okay. You know, I was thinking if you were on American Idol and I was one of the judges, I'd give you a 10. I don't know if they do 10s or
Boot me
what.
off the stage.
Yeah, I got it fixed, Carol. Sorry. I love it. Yeah, you know, I love it too. So, okay, so let's go into the future now. You know, let's future cast a bit because you and I were talking about some cool stuff, and you got some really. You've been taking this time and really looking at your life and what is it that you are projecting for yourself?
I have a very big vision for next year and many years to come. So I was sharing with Tamara, there's this thing called Expedition 196, which is this woman is phenomenal. She's a Guinness Book World Record holder she's got multiple records, but she was the first, I think, woman to beat the original record of traveling to 196 countries in less than 3 years. And the other part was she was the first female to do so. So she broke 2 records while doing her mission. So if you can imagine traveling to every single country in the world and what that would look like, I mean, some of her travels it took 8 hours alone to go from one of the main countries to one of the small islands in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. And she was collecting water samples throughout that whole time, so she could send them to scientists to examine the water to see what level of plastic would be in the actual water itself. So any body of water that she was around, she took water samples for scientific research. So originally I planned on traveling to 35 countries. It was originally just for me to do like my original like backpack idea that most people talk about is backpacking Europe by yourself. One, you can learn more about who you are, but the other part of that is I ask questions to myself, right? That we always have an answer for. How can I make this make an impact, or how can I make this make me money? Is the other part of it, right? So for me, it started to evolve. When we have an idea, it tends to grow, but always be aware of the idea fairy. It'll add more than what you may think. So keeping the course straight and direct. And to put this succinctly, it's basically to impact multiple industries. I'll be getting scuba certified this year, so I can film underwater for a lot of different projects, mainly just with different, different ideas that I have. A huge passion of mine is just, I won't say climate change, but it's showcasing what we are doing in the world of like the oceans. I don't know what it is, but corals just seem to talk to me for some reason. Just being able to make a difference there, but at the same time, I want to be the one to be the example, to demonstrate to other creative minds that it doesn't matter where you are, you have the ability to create the life that you want. No matter how much gear that you have, if you're a videographer, photographer, to just blaze the trail for others. At the same time, I'm going to blaze my own trail and bring as many people with me as I can. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging for them. So, just being able to get to the core of who you are, asking questions like I did with Tamara. What is your most treasured memory? If they don't have one, we're going to make one, right? So it's having absolute certainty in where you're going. And it really just starts with, I think I mentioned this to you, Tamara, is there are, I think, 13 principles on the United Nations website.
Right, yes, yes.
So if you choose one of those, you're already starting off on the right track because you're focused on impacting the world on such a level. When my accountant actually shared with me, Expedition One Night, it wasn't her, but it was the woman that did it. It was Cassie de Picot is her name. I thought my vision was pretty big. 34, 35 countries, woohoo! I went to 196. I'm like, I thought way too small. So that's the difference between having certain people in your life so you can just see that alone and be like, I'm not working big enough. I'm not thinking big enough. And that's the shock that we need in our lives. But as long as you're authentic about it.
I love that. I love it. And you and putting the intention out there too. And we were talking about this in the closed group last night with Kelly K. Walker, the Queen of Manifesting. She was like, okay, really, and then yesterday with Timothy R. Johnson, and you have all of these amazing people right now. It's not by accident, because today is Thursday, May the 7th, and there's a lot of frequency and a lot going on out in the world right now, and a lot of people are feeling it. You're one of them, right? And do you want to talk about that a bit? Because we've been talking about that on Magic Monday. Aaron and Rayanne, they actually brought this out to the community, and and some of our dear community buddies, they were like, are we doing homework now? Are we learning about all this stuff? But there's really a lot of truth to the frequencies of the moon and the earth and the oceans and what is happening right now, because this is one of the greatest times, right? Basically, in our lifetime.
Yeah, honestly, if you look at this, is when was the last time an entire world shut down? Period.
Right.
That's like hundreds of years. It goes all the way back. There's only, history will repeat itself. It's just a common thing, but you don't know. We're in that special time. It's just a matter of when you have like full moons and stuff, it really triggers certain things. So this is a moon that's a Scorpio type of moon. So, we're going to feel our emotions way more than usual. So if you understand that and just know you're like really, really emotional, and being able to put some of that aside when you're doing business deals and stuff or whatever you're working on, the frequency is going to be there. But sometimes when you have full moons, it's the greatest time to plant seeds. So especially in this time, it's truly just a time to, what do you really want? Now, yeah, I want to go to 34, 35 countries. Do I know exactly how that's going to happen? I have no idea what I'm doing. No clue. All I know is I have this vision, and I'm taking the actions that are consistent so that actually comes true. So if I want to shoot videos underwater, well, what do I need? I need to be able to scuba all over the place, like Scuba Steve. Right?
Right. Exactly. And we talked about this in the closed group, and they're talking about, because Carol is over tonight, Thankful Thursday, and she's going to do some kind of a do-it-yourself project, guys. So you're going to want to be there. It's always so much fun. And we've been talking a lot in the group within Chemo Buddies for Life in many of the nights. And it just seems like, because we don't compare notes host for the different chats, it goes on inspiration. And I've been watching this, and it's like it's all building, and it's been building into with the Service Heroes show also, in that and what I am seeing now in a 30,000 foot level, guys, in truth, because I'm the one that's kind of been either hosting or I attend, is that we are all helping each other to understand right now that the world is shifting, and that we right now have an opportunity, because we have slowed down in our lives, to shift with it, and that anything is truly possible. Anything is possible. Everything is possible. As big as we want to dream is possible. Dream and then action steps, like Yoda, right? And putting it out there. And I'm so glad, Aaron, you're here. Go Scuba Steve.
Oh yeah, I created another monster.
I love it. And you know, yeah, I love the movie. Adam is funny. So as we button this all together, because you have such a way of being able to really help people, you have an inspirational spirit, is what I'm going to say, because you are always inspiring me. Guys, you know, not to get weepy again, but here this man comes into my life, and I was like, okay, would you please consider, because if someone's going to tell my story, I really want it to be you. And what the outcome has been is that one of my dearest friends is Kevin Beverly, one of my very, very dearest friends. And you have such a heart of serving others. You have such a way of, you almost come across like that cop in a way. You know, you graduated from academy, you have that stoic cop thing going on, but then we know you got the Kevin Dancy guy in there, and then you have the heart that is there to serve and help to raise the frequency of the world. I mean, it's an incredible package, and I would love for you to spend a few moments with all of us. I'm going to drop myself down from the line. I'm going to let you share what you're thinking right now, because I will preface it this way. One of the news anchors that I actually filmed with, she came to my house. She filmed with me. She's top line news anchor, story producer person came. She had on her feed last night. She did a recap so that it would show up every year of what is happening right now in the world during COVID and during, you know, lockdown, and the change in the world with the earth and you know, the economy and health and just everything. We have such a shift taking place right now. We have the full moon that is at the highest frequency in the charts and everything that I look at, and I say, wow, that's a lot of stuff. I don't quite understand it. However, I can feel it. Many of us do. And you have an understanding that I would love to just let you share what you want to share right now. I'll be back when you're done.
Welcome to Chemo Buddies for Life. So here is some golden nuggets for all of you. So hopefully you take these with some positivity. Is the time that we're experiencing now, it's all about character building. It's really looking at what are the things that are working in your life and the things that are not. So there's a quote that Warren Buffett shared with people, what does success mean to each of you? So, when you come to the end of your life, there's so many things that you can focus on, but the thing to actually measure about how successful you are in life is the people that you love. Do they actually love you back? So the people that you want to love you, do they actually love you back? And that's truly the way of looking at life is, we have all these different things when it comes to money, material things, but the things that matter most are the people that we're around. Just by giving your heart to people without any sort of expectation of something coming back is worth way more than any monetary value. Yes, money is important. It's kind of like oxygen. Without it, you can't breathe. Being able to take care of yourself. But the biggest thing in life is really honoring yourself and honoring those that are around you. So it's truly up to you to be the one to make the change. You have so many talents, abilities, and skills that many people may not even know that you possess. It is your responsibility to figure out what those are and go out into the world and impact those people that need to hear your voice, your message, your skill set. So with that, I will request that Tamara come on back.
I'm back. And before we go away today, I'm going to start drawing people's attention to the fact that we have a YouTube channel for Service Heroes. And I most likely am going to rename it to the Service Hero Show. However, right now it shows Tamara Hunter Service Hero. If anybody knows how to change the name on YouTube, I'd love to hear. I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't yet. However, we have a lot of the Service Hero shows. They're loaded, and I'm going to be loading all of them here shortly because I'm in a loading mode. We're loading for the beta site for Chemo Buddies for Life, so it can become a full-fledged baby website. And then while I'm doing it, I'm getting all of the Service Hero shows loaded. So if you have been a service hero and you want your bio included, please send it to me. I'll upload it into the channel, and please go over and start liking it, and so we start seeing some love over there for our different service heroes, because you know what, these are great shows. They were devoted, it all was because of the buddies and letting people know that there are amazing people like Kevin and Aaron and Carol and so many that have been even here today that are service heroes out there doing amazing things for others or for themselves. Many have been chosen as a service hero for what they've done for themselves, and then because of that, they've inspired others to do the same. All different stories. There's quite a few of them. I haven't counted completely. I think we've got close to 400. So there's a lot of them, and they're getting loaded. So please, please, please go over there and start, sharing the love over there with those that you love. So, Kevin.
Tamara.
Aaron keeps saying this like over and over and over. And I know we now are a little over an hour, but you know what? Whatever. It's COVID time. There we go. Okay, just a second. Let me do this right. Okay, let me take you down. There we go. I love it. You're always, that's what I said when I put this up today. It is always fun when you're around. You are also a man with a heart and a business acumen. And I mean, you're well-rounded, let's just say. Plus, now you've got that really cool facial thing going on. Let me ask you one last question, and wink, wink.
Well, not to interrupt you, but Sherry McQueen is asking, what's your tube name?
Right now it's I think it's Tamara Hunter Service Heroes is what it is. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure real quickly and make sure that that's what it's showing up. Thank you for asking. Yes, Tamara Hunter Service Heroes is what it's under. So thank you. Thank you. Do you have, okay, I have to say you have a little bit of a Grizzly Adams look, or kind of like, you know, that those photographers that go all over the world, or videographers that go all over the world for some of our, let's say, more established names out there. Is there any time that we may see your name like bantered around in some of this type of stuff?
It really depends on how many people I'm serving. So how big that question is going to be how many people I've actually touched and impacted. So doing the one-man band is great, but I can't do it all by myself. So I'm really building a team, and there's things that are magical. Like I'm part of a mentorship program, and all of a sudden all these people are reaching out for mentorship around videography. Not my intention, but I knew that was part of the process. So
okay, so guys, you've seen the heart of this man. You've seen his talent. You see the fun. Let's share the love. One of the things that has happened with this show many times is that there's been aha moments. There's been people reaching out to others. Then, this full circle thing. If you know someone that you're feeling inspired to introduce Kevin to, or if you want to touch base with Kevin, when we are done with this, I would like for you in the comments here in Facebook, put how they can get a hold of you. And then when we upload into YouTube, I want to be able to put all of your contact information in there too, so that people know how to get a hold of you, because Kevin's talent needs to be out there. Let's not let it be under the bushel. Let's let it shine bright. And I am putting the intention out there for my dear Kev Bev, as you call yourself on Facebook. Kevin Beverly.
So is this where I answer questions? Is this kind of how that goes?
Well, we're actually now kind of out of time, but I'm willing to stay here because if anybody has any last minute questions, we'll let them happen. But this is really where I usually sign off. But it's just so much fun to have you here. It's always so hard to let you go, and yet I know that I'm not. I know I'm not, because when you have sincere friends, I loved what you shared when you were talking to everybody, and that is, when you love someone, do they love you back? And I can tell you this, I seriously love you back, because I know you love me. I love you. There are so many people within our movement, the Love It movement, the Chemo Buddies for Life, all the service heroes, all of this, they absolutely adore and love you. And this is what it's about, guys, raising the frequency of the world, one buddy at a time, one person at a time, one service hero at a time. We're all sharing this with each other. It is incredible, the healing powers that can happen, and the intention. So I'm putting it out there for you, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let me have missed your face. Yes, I agree. Erin's saying that she's missed her face. We need to have you into the closed group here soon. And get that scheduled. Okay. So as we close, May the 7th, the year 2020, the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. Kevin Beverly. Once again, we have proven and determined you are a service hero. Your heart, your your drive, your talent, and most importantly, your soul is truly all about service. You've got it. You understand it. And today you have helped share and educated others on how in serving, truthfully, that service is going to help lead the road to where your life is going to go. And as you shared with me in regards to a book that you suggested that I read, that then things come. And you shared it today with everybody, that then the calls come, the business comes. You have to be sometimes willing to shift, but the intention in the end, you will end up where it is that you believe you should go in following your heart. You've shared that with us today, and I want to say thank you, and I'm sure everybody else does too. Let's see. Marvelous miracles are unfolding all around us. B. I love it.
It's all about this time we're in is all about character, right? This
I
is
love
the
it.
time where you're getting to have the opportunity to work on your character. Because if our dreams were just given to us, we wouldn't respect them, and nobody would take us, for who we truly are.
Well said. Well said. B. Okay. You know what? There you go. As Aaron said, B. And as you just said, it's about character. And let's see. I love it. This is when, guys, I just love this group. When shift, breathe in the love. Okay. Upon that, I'm breathing it in and I'm sharing it out. I'm sharing it out with you, Kevin, and I'm sharing it out with all of you out there, and share the love over. Have some fun. You guys are going to crack up. You're going to crack up. Some of the older stuff a couple of years ago. Oh, be kind, be loving. Remember, you love me. Remember, you love everybody. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I was watching it and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of fun. So make it a great day, guys. And tonight is Thankful Thursday in the group. Come and join us if you would like. Chemo Buddies for Life. It is in a closed group, so you need to go to the Chemo Buddies for Life community. Ask to join it. We chat is what we call it every evening at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Work it out in other areas of the world. Yes, we have buddies that do attend now from other areas of the world. It is getting to be quite fun. So come and join us. See you there. See you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.